Hey, what's up, everybody? Just wrapped up casting the V1 broadcast for the main stage, day 1. Let's talk about it. What's up, everybody? Lawler here. Going to be talking about the North American Regional 2 event. We got through the first part of the main stage in the Swiss stage and are going into the playoffs, which will be going down today. If you guys don't know, you can check them out at twitch.tv/Rocket League. You've got your top 8, all that kind of stuff. So let's talk about it in 2 parts. First part, the results, who's moving forward. Second part, expectations going into the final 2 days. So first part, we got Swiss stage. We got 16 teams. 8 of those are automatically qualified from finishing top 8 last time. And then we've got 8 that came through a qualifier. Some from the open qualifiers, some from the bottom 8 of last time. Those teams are as follows. You got FaZe, Energy, Space Station, V1, XSET, Envy, G2, True Neutral, Torrent, Ghost Gaming, Sonics, Vibrance, United, Nefarious, Rogue, and RBG. Those are also in order of their seeds from 1st to 16th. We start off in round 1 and things go as expected. Every single team that is the high seed ends up... Wait, just kidding. Version 1 doesn't. Of course not. Why would they make things easy on themselves? Round 1, all the high seeds end up winning, except for V1, who get beat pretty heavily by Vibrance. V1 did not look all that great. The big one I'm going to pay attention to in this one is that FaZe game. FaZe versus RBG starts off, and Illusion has 18 demos in one game. 20 total. In the following game, he does not touch the ball a single time. And at some point, ends a game with like 22 or something. Like he averaged, I think it was like 104 point or something. Like it's not a lot. But basically FaZe 2v3 at RBG. It was ugly. Pretty crazy stuff all around. That was round 1. All the high seeds, low seeds get divvied up. All the high teams play each other. All the low teams play each other. In round 2, you then get FaZe versus Envy, an incredible match. Envy ends up winning 3-1. Energy 3-0's Vibrance. XSET beats True Neutral in 5. Very close series. And then G2, 3-0's Space Station. That is now 6-0 on the day for G2. Looking pretty dang good. We then get into the low rounds. You got RBG versus Sonics, where RBG bounces back and beats Sonics. You got V1 versus Nefarious, where V1, of course, going to 5, making it close. Ends up winning that one. 3-1, and then a 2-1 minute 37 OT. 3-1 in favor of Nefarious, then 2-1, and then 6-0. Why they didn't do that 6-0 part at the beginning, I don't know. But it was roughly around like Game 2, Game 3 of this series that V1 started to look quite a bit better. We then go to Torrent and Rogue, where in a spaceman sweep, Torrent ends up winning. Rogue, again, still struggling with consistency. They do keep all the matches pretty dang close. All 1-goal games except for Game 3. And then there's an overtime to end at 2:29. So Rogue, again, still struggling to get those wins. But there is times where they look pretty dang solid. Also, Ghost Gaming up against United, the kind of surprise to make it through qualifiers. Ghost Gaming ends up winning 3-0, holding them to 4 goals in 3 games. We then jump to round 3, where we've got 4 teams that are all 2-0, where 2 will qualify, 2 will go back into the gauntlet. You've got your mid teams that are 1-1, and then you've got your low teams that are 0-2 and on elimination. In our high round, Envy versus Energy, absolute nail biter, goes to 5, super exciting. Envy wins 1, Energy wins 2, Envy wins 2. Very, very good series, worthy of conversations of going into quarterfinals, grand final stuff. So really exciting series there. And on the other side, G2 going up against XSET. XSET continuing to showcase that they are a solid top 8 team with the addition of Percy. And G2, 2-1 OT win, 5-3, 2-1. This G2 goes 3-0 every single series, 9-0 perfect on the day to qualify. Definitely look like teams that can go and win at the highest level. Hopefully they can keep that consistent, as they and Envy are the first 2 teams into the main qualifiers and into the playoffs. Up next, we go into the mid-series, and you've got a V1 going up against a FaZe. It starts off pretty well for V1, and then FaZe decides to stop playing passive and comes in absolutely dominant. I compared it in the middle of the series to looking at Envy and how they played over on WePlay, and when they won the whole thing. They can play defensive, they can play offensive, they can just dominate. And solo play leads immediately to infield pass. It's just brutal. FaZe looked incredible. True Neutral then goes up against a RBG team that is fighting 2 overtimes in this one. True Neutral winning both of those. That is the difference maker. You then got Ghost Gaming against Space Station, and Ghost Gaming starts dominant. Space Station almost completes the reverse sweep and then loses 3-0 in game 5. Heartbreak for them. And last but not least, after Vibrance starts hot, they get cooled off and play the other Minnesota team in Torrent, and they lose 3-0. 7-2 in game 1, 4-1 in game 2, and 1-0 in game 3. Torrent closing out strong, showcasing that they are also a great middle-of-the-pack team. We then go to the low seeds, and these are teams that are going to get eliminated. Sonics 3-0 United and Rogue 3-0 Nefarious. As expected, I would say, both these teams should be winning these matches. I did expect to see Nefarious go a little bit closer against Rogue, but that's the contrast to Rogue. Rogue can play upset really heavily, but they also can fall down to their competition. Kind of reminds me of V1 last season, actually. We then go into round 4, where you got your teams that are 2-1 and your teams that are 1-2. In the high side, Energy versus Ghost, 3-0 for Energy. Ghost puts up a pretty good fight, 2-1, 2-1, 3-2, all 1-goal games with an overtime. Ghost also trying to showcase that they are not a fluke, and that the decision to bring 2 players over from the Sonics was a good idea. Rold is also no longer a coach, playing full-time. Pretty exciting to see his results. XSET goes up against Torrent in a nail-biter, 2 overtimes, really close series. The only one that wasn't was game 3, where it was 6-0, but other than that, all 1-goal games. Great series from both teams. XSET and Percy, man, continuing to come alive. It's been really exciting. XSET does qualify now, as well as NRG into the main event playoffs. We then go to our third and final high series, and FaZe Clan gets swept by True Neutral. Don't know how, don't know why, don't know what happened. I do know it was close. 2-1 with an 8-second OT, where True Neutral scores off the kickoff. 2-1 for True Neutral, and then 2-0 for True Neutral. I don't know if FaZe is just messing about, a little overconfident or what, but that puts them in elimination. You then go to the low side. All these teams also fighting to stay alive. They're at 1-2. If they lose, they go home. Space Station 3-1's Rogue. Rogue goes home. This series again, Rogue scored 1 goal. They scored 1-0 in the first game and then got shut out 3-0, 1-0, and 4-0. Pretty tough for Rogue to lose there. You then got Vibrance versus RBG, and Vibrance 3-1 over RBG after RBG starts strong, as well as Vibrance, but Vibrance shows they are the better team. 1-0, 3-2 OT for RBG, and then 2-0, 2-0. Vibrance shutting out RBG when they get their victories. And then we go into V1 versus Sonics, and again, a very crazy series between the two teams. Sonics starts off 3-2, closing it out. V1 having a tough time trying to battle back when they're down. And then eventually they start leading the series. They start winning and getting early goals, which they're able to hold on to. Second game is 3-0. Third game is 3-2 with an OT, where they're actually down by 2, came back and tied. Crazy crossfield pass where Gimmick half rotates and moves back up after getting midfield boost on the left-hand side to close it out. Really exciting game. And then they close out 1-0 in game 4. And they win 3-1 in the series. So V1 now again finds themselves at a chance to make top 8 alongside Torrent, FaZe, Space Station, Ghost, and Vibrance. Now this is where it gets a little bit complicated because of the way that seeding works. When you are high and low seeds, if you are a team, so if you look at round 4, V1, Vibrance, and Space Station all win, so they are promoting, and they have to play someone from the high side, Ghost, Torrent, and FaZe. But due to game differential and not playing the same opponents, it ends up throwing amok everything. Even though V1 and Torrent were not the appropriate seedings, the other teams can't play each other. V1 has already played Vibrance and all that. Like, there's so many different things of how the seeding works out. So V1 ends up getting Torrent again for the second time. This is where it hurts for Torrent. The last qualifiers, or last main event qualification, in the first day, Torrent in round 4 played XSET and lost, and then played V1 and lost, and the exact same thing happens in this regional as well. They lose out on main event again the exact same way. Really, really unfortunate for them. Good for V1 though, because that's the team that I cover. The first game starts off 6.5-minute overtime. V1 ends up closing it out. Torrent bounces back 2-1, and then 3-2, 3-1. So really close series, really entertaining series, but hurts the heart again. Com even tweeted out something along the lines of like, wait, people can qualify in less than 5 games kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, they can, man, but why you guys got to do it this way? I don't know. You then go into the craziest results, and FaZe and Space Station both having to play each other in a game 5. That's a semifinal, almost grand final match, possibly. But it's to qualify for the main event. again, is so cutthroat right now in RLCS, and it's amazing to watch. Space Station ends up thwarting FaZe, and I don't know what's going on with FaZe after. Maybe they just took it a little bit too relaxed, or maybe they can bounce back after the true neutral thing, but Space Station comes out with a different play style and gives it to them. 3-1, 2-1 in favor of FaZe, 3-0, 3-1 in favor of Space Station. So 3-1 series, Space Station qualifies as well. They remain top 8. And then Ghost Gaming versus Vibrance. Ghost Gaming, to me, is the better team. Vibrance does put up a pretty good fight. Scores a lot of goals, actually, and averages like 3 a game, which is pretty dang solid. Or like 2.5 per game is pretty close. But Ghost Gaming, able to close it out. Good to see them in top 8. Only one new face in the top 8, and it is Ghost this time around instead of FaZe. So a lot of familiar faces coming back into the top 8 as we take a look at part 2, which is our playoffs. We get into our quarterfinals. This will be going down today on Saturday. G2 versus Ghost, True Neutral versus XSET, NV versus V1, and then Space Station versus NRG. That's going to be the first game of the day. They're starting the day with NRG versus Space Station. You do not want to miss it. I assume NRG will win over Space Station. NV over V1 is my assumption. XSET over True Neutral. Then again, you never know with True Neutral. And then G2 over Ghost. From there, XSET G2, I don't know. That's a coin flip for me. Energy, NV, I have no idea. Depends on how well NV plays. So from there, semifinals and stuff are going to be great. We will get 2 semifinal matches and the grand finals, which is a best of set. These are also all best of 7s on Sunday. So that is going to do it for your recap for the first day. We'll have another recap for y'all on Monday of how all the matches go down. Tomorrow will be Q&A video, so make sure if you guys have questions, drop those down below. But that was going to do it for me. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. We will see you all in the next video tomorrow, which will be a recap video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the questions that are asked and answered. But if you guys do enjoy the content, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.